412 days. That is how long he sat in kennel number 9, watching families walk past his door. He was not sick, he was not old, he was not aggressive. He was black. In that shelter, that was enough. 412 days, and nobody even slowed down. His name was Milo. For most of those 412 days, nobody said it out loud. The volunteers stopped writing in his file after month 11. There was nothing left to write. But on a cold Thursday in November, a woman walked through the front door looking for a completely different cat. She never made it to that cat, and what happened in the next 20 seconds would undo 412 days of silence. Milo came in on a rainy night in September. Animal control found him under a delivery truck behind a grocery store. He was 11 months old, 7 pounds, soaked to the bone, torn ear, a rope burn around his neck. Someone had tied him to something, someone had left him there. The intake photo is still in his file. His eyes are enormous, pupils blown wide, ears pinned flat against his skull. He did not hiss, he did not fight. He just froze, the way animals freeze when they have already learned that struggling makes things worse. They cleaned him up. They treated the rope burn. They gave him a number, a kennel, and a bowl. And then they waited for someone to want him. Here's something most people do not know. In shelters across the country, black cats wait far longer for adoption than any other color. Some wait 4 times longer. Some never leave at all. Not because they are meaner, not because they are sicker, because of a story people invented hundreds of years ago about luck and shadows and things that cross your path at night. A superstition, that's all it is. And Milo was paying for it with his entire life. The first 3 months, he still tried. When visitors came down the hallway, he would press himself to the front of the cage. He would push his white nose through the wire and make a small, hopeful sound. People would slow down, they would look at him, and then their eyes would slide to the orange kitten in the next cage. "Oh, he's sweet," they would say, "but black cats don't photograph well." Or, "My mother would kill me." Or sometimes nothing at all, just a step to the right and a different cat lifted into their arms. By month 5, Milo stopped coming to the front. By month 8, he stopped looking up when the hallway door opened. Nobody slowed down anymore. And somewhere around month 9, a volunteer noticed something that broke her. Milo had stopped lying down to sleep. He slept sitting upright, back pressed into the corner, chin dropping slowly toward his chest before jerking up again. Cats only sleep like that when they do not believe they are safe. He had been in that building for nearly a year, warm, fed, dry, medically sound, and every single night, some part of him was still under that truck in the rain. That volunteer started leaving the radio on for him after her shift ended. Soft music, very low, just so the hallway would not be silent. She said it helped him settle. She never admitted it was for herself. Because she had already done the math, she knew what happens to the ones who stay too long. If this is already sitting heavy in your chest, I want you to know you are not alone in that. I see a lot of you here who still haven't subscribed. Honestly, that one stings a little. Hit the button so we can keep telling these stories. Now let me tell you about the Thursday. Her name was Ruth. She was 58 years old, a school bus driver for 26 years, newly retired. Her husband had moved into memory care in July. The house had gone quiet in a way she could not fix with a radio. Her daughter found a listing online, a small gray female, 2 years old, described as cuddly and calm. Ruth printed the photo. She put it in her coat pocket. She drove 40 minutes in the cold. She told the front desk exactly which cat she wanted to meet. The volunteer led her toward the adoption rooms and took a wrong turn. They ended up in the back hallway, the long one. That is where the cats who had been there longest were kept, because the sunny front rooms went to the ones who might actually leave. Ruth was 3 steps past Kennel 9 when she slowed down, then she stopped. She would say later that she did not know why. There was no sound. He did not cry out. He did not press against the wire. He was sitting in the corner, upright, half asleep, chin bobbing, and she just stood there and looked at him. The volunteers started to apologize. Sorry, that's the wrong hall. He's been here a while. How long? The volunteer checked the tag. She said the number out loud. 412 days. Ruth did not answer. She crouched down slowly until her knees touched the concrete. Then she pulled the printed photo out of her coat pocket, looked at it once, and put it away. She stayed down there for a long time. At some point, Milo opened his eyes fully. He did not move toward her. He did not run. He just looked back. And then this cat, who had not lain down in 150 nights, slowly stretched one white paw forward across the floor of the cage. 20 seconds. That is all it took. Ruth signed the papers that afternoon. The first 2 weeks at home, Milo lived behind the washing machine. Ruth did not chase him. She did not pull him out. She left food. She left water. And every evening she sat in the armchair across the room with the television turned down low and talked about nothing at all. The weather, her husband, the bus route she drove for 26 years. On night 16, she felt something land on the arm of the chair. She did not turn her head. She kept talking. On night 22, he touched her hand with his nose. On night 31, she woke at 3 in the morning to a warm weight on her chest and a sound she had never heard him make. He was purring, loud, rough, slightly broken, like an engine turning over after years. And for the first time in over a year, Milo was lying flat on his side, belly exposed, completely, unbearably asleep. She cried so hard she was afraid she would wake him. He did not wake. Milo is 4 years old now. He walks on a harness in the backyard every afternoon, which the shelter said would never happen. He rides in the car. He sleeps against Ruth's shoulder every single night. He has never slept sitting up again. People ask Ruth if she believes black cats are unlucky. She always gives the same answer. She says the unlucky ones were the 412 days of people who never slowed down. Some stories are too heavy to keep to yourself. This is one of them. Because here is the truth nobody says out loud in a shelter hallway. The cats in the back are not damaged. They're not defective. They're not cursed. They're just waiting for one person to take a wrong turn. If you're thinking about adopting, please do not stop at the sunny front rooms. Walk all the way down. Look at the ones nobody photographs. They will love you harder than anything you have ever known because they know exactly what the alternative is. Milo waited 412 days for someone to slow down. He would have waited longer. That's the part that hurts. So tell me honestly, would you have stopped at Kennel 9? Or would you have kept walking like everyone else did for 412 days? Tell me in the comments.